I'll use the laser pointer. If you look at Emma with your eyes, you can't see anything in that bag. But if you look at it using the infrared camera, you see there's something glowing inside. So what do you guys think it is? Is it a star? What is it? What do you think?
Is it a green dot?
Is it a what?
A green dot.
A green dot? No. What is she holding in her hand?
A bag.
No, inside the bag. Yep. What do you think? Like a star? Yeah, it's like a star, but it's not actually a star. It's my coffee. So, but this is sort of what astronomers like us do. They look at these star-forming regions, these big clouds of gas, and we look at them in other ways. If you look at them with regular light, with light that we can see, we're not going to see anything inside. But if we look at it infrared or other kinds of light, we can see right on through and see the goodies inside and observe it and see what's going on. So what is regular light or visible light and these other kinds of light like infrared? Well, I'll show you. Okay, so all the light we can see is like a rainbow. So all the colors in the rainbow is the light you can see. All the light that you're seeing right now is visible light. But there's so many other kinds of light out there in the world. So this is a spectrum called the electromagnetic spectrum. And this little bit right in the middle, that's all the light you can see. Everything you can see is in that little tiny bit in the middle. But there's all this on the left and right that we can't see. The longer wavelengths of light, like the infrared, microwaves, and radio waves. So infrared, like that camera we just used. Microwaves, like you put your hot pockets in the microwave. And your radio waves is what your car picks up when you're listening to your tunes in your car. Those are the longer wavelengths. The shorter wavelengths, there's kind of a glare on it so you can't really see. But at the longer end, there's gamma rays. So if you're in a comic book and you want to become the Incredible Hulk, get hit with some gamma rays. But in real life, stay away from gamma rays. They're not good for you. And you get your ultraviolet rays, which is like the sun gives off a lot of ultraviolet rays, so you have to put on some sunscreen to protect yourself. And then you have your X-rays, so like if you break a bone and you go to the doctor, do X-rays on your arm so you can see how it's broken. So there's all these different kinds of light that there's many different uses for. The hotter something is, the smaller the wavelength of light. So it seems backwards, right? Hotter is smaller wavelength. So things like light bulbs in the sun, they're really, really hot. So they'll emit visible light, which allows us to see. Us, we're not so hot, right? You guys aren't thousands and thousands of degrees, right? Otherwise you'd have a serious fever. We need to call the doctor. So we have a little bit longer wavelength of light. So we glow in the infrared light. So we emit infrared light, not visible light. And I'll show you how you guys all glow in infrared. You'll see yourselves? Go ahead and like put your hands up so you can.
I can't.
Okay, so you notice how you guys are all glowing, but the chairs and the walls are real dark. They're not glowing because they're not as warm as you. So you guys are warmer than the things around you. Okay, so I talked about how infrared light can go through things like clouds of gas or this bag, so we can see right on through. But does it work the other way? Are there things that we can see through that infrared light can't go through? So here I have a little pan top, and I'm going to use it as like a shield against this infrared light. So everybody can see me right through this, right? You can see my hand? Okay? So if we put it in front of the infrared light, okay, Everybody see my hand waving over here? If I move it down in front of it, it's gone. And then it reappears. And then it's gone. And it reappears. So while the visible light goes right on through this, the infrared light is blocked. So that's the opposite of what's going on with this bag. The visible light gets blocked, but the infrared can go right on through. Okay? So different forms of light will go through different things. So, if we go back to the EM spectrum, all right. So I showed you what everything is in infrared, but we actually do our research in the even longer wavelengths, in the microwaves and radio waves. Where a similar thing happens, where the radio waves and microwaves will go right through these gas clouds, and we can see what's going on inside. And the reason that's really important is Natalie will show you, because this is a region where stars form. Okay, and the issue is you can't see a star on here. The star is in this gas cloud. So this is an optical image. So like with our eyes. So if we want to observe what's going on with the star, we can't, because we can't even see it. But if we look at it in radio or infrared, we'll see right on through it, and we can observe what's going on. What's really cool about these young stars is they have these things called outflows shooting through the top and the bottom. You see this line going up and this line going down? So those are called outflows. And what those are is the material all around the star will fall into the star and get shot out the top and the bottom. Okay? It was really, really fast. And in these outflows, there are these things called masers. And masers are kind of like lasers, like this laser pointer here. But instead of the visible light we can see, it's in the microwaves. Remember I talked about the different wavelengths and the different types of light? It's in the microwave light. So we can't see it, but if we have a microwave detector, we can see it. So there's different kinds of masers. And depending on what kind of maser you are, will be different parts of the outflow. So up top you have things like water masers, and closer to the star you'll have things like class 2 methanol masers. So different types of masers will be in different parts of the outflow. So we can look at the masers, see what's going on with them, see what kinds they are, and can tell us the shape of this outflow, things about the outflow. If we learn about the outflow, we learn about the star. So it's very important for learning how massive stars are formed. So you guys are going to make your own masers today. Okay? So we have these bags, and inside them are an Easter egg, some paper, some tape, and 2 starbursts. Okay? And you guys are going to make your own maser. Julie just made this maser. This is hers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop it into our outflow. So this vacuum is going to act like our star and power our outflow. And our outflow is going to be this air shooting out of this hose. And we're going to put it in there, and we're going to see how it flies. So let's take a look. Okay, so you guys are going to partner up with somebody at your table, and you guys are going to make your own masers just like this. So, just one moment, and maybe your teacher partner you up. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, and then we'll pass out your bags. You'll have some time to make your masers. When you're done making your maser, raise your hand, and we'll call you on up, and we'll put it into our outflow, and we'll see what kind of maser yours is like. All right? Oh, thank you. So, starbursts, do not eat them until the end. Okay? When it's all done, you can eat them, but wait until the end. Because if you eat them, then you're not going to have them to make your masers.
Or until your teacher tells you
Or until your
it's
teacher tells
okay not to eat.
Yes.
Self-control.
Wait, Miss Frakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can put them in, you can not put them in, it's up to you. So yeah, you can do whatever you want. I want to see your most creative ideas. Alright, come on up. How many servers are there? How many servers are there? 2? Okay. You think it's going to go low or do you think it's going to go low? Is that what you're trying So that was pretty high, so now you're trying to go lower. Okay?
Oh yeah, we're totally doing
How about you, Ray? Okay, how many servers are there? 2? Okay, you think that's going to make it go low or high? Low? Okay. Medium, you think the paper is going to make it go higher or low? Yeah, and it's going to grab all the air and let's take a look. Alright, now, one second. So, that one was pretty high, right? Okay, so you're going to want a paper on it, right? So it's going to grab all the air. Okay? So now that you made a high one, try to make one that goes low. Okay? You can do whatever you want. Also real quick, a lot of people are leaving their strips intact. They're leaving them full. You guys can rip them. You guys can make them small. You can make them long. You can do whatever you want with them. Okay? Okay, here, hold on. They haven't gone yet? Okay, so we'll let them go first. Try to make it low. Okay? What do you think if you make it go low? That's too far. Okay, what else? What else? What do you think? Yeah, you can try that out. Okay, you guys are up front. I like this one. This one's different. We'll see how it does, okay? So you have to go lower, you can go You want to make one that goes high? Okay, make one that goes high. All right. So, how many turns? 2? Okay. So you have to go high. I think it's going to go
I think it goes
high. Okay, let's take
Yeah,
a
let's take all these. Maybe we should put no Starbucks in and then we're just super duper high. Let's do that. We're gonna have the best. No, we need.
So, because you can see like when they're here. All right. Ooh, I like this one. Take me to the outside. What you gotta make it out of that? So go make a different alien and bring it out. Yeah, make another one. I know. You can take the tape off and the paper off. Hold on a second. Oh, you feel that? Did I call you up? No? Alright, hold on. Go sit down with me. Okay. Tell me what you're doing. Six strip size? Okay, let me start with you. Alright, so look. You want to turn on the basketball? So go ahead and try to make one that goes low. Okay? Now that you made a high one, you make a low one. That's okay, decoration. Okay, so go ahead. You have to go low or high? High. You got two circles in there? Okay, take a look. So now I want to make one that goes as low as possible or as high as possible. Okay? Come up, nice and light. Nice job, Oren. Okay, one more challenge. All right, so give it a go. Now start versus squeeze it so it's here, take a look. So now you made a really high roll. Okay, so what happens is grab out of their wings and take it down. Unless you're trying to make it fall. Alright, so what's going on with this? You made it down the ball. That's a good idea. Good idea. Take it to go low, take it to go high. Low? Alright, stay low. Did yours go higher or lower? You like low last time? You want to say try low now? So, maybe, like you said, it was actually really, really stable. Now I want you to make it stable. Stay in there forever. Okay? Okay? Try to make it even more. Yeah, oh, baby. Glasses in terms of your school. Alright. It's not a yellow. Higher low. It's not an alien switch. You only have one step. Fine. 2 steps inside. What are you going to do?
Slow down.
Go down.
What's that?
Now. Okay, but go low.
We're out of Starbucks, right?
So yeah.
Okay, now I can use a little.
Take a look. I like this one. I like little pencils. Yeah. So how do you think it's gonna help the fly? It's just this right here. Decoration. Okay, so you think it's gonna go low or high? Low, you think all right. Okay, so what about this?
I can. Okay, guys.
So is it just gonna be different? Yeah? Okay, so you think it's gonna go okay, so you think it's gonna go low or think it's still gonna go high? Okay, so we're up again with high. Okay, now I want you to try a new design. Okay, so take all the paper off and start again.
Looks like all the same. Guys, you
That's why it's so we have a website about this then, so I can, Mrs. Frakes has the website address, so you can link it.
Okay, so you can take everything off and put your egg back in your bag, okay?
Okay.
Did she call you up or you
Okay, now I have to.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Alright, come on, go back, sit down where okay. Okay.
Hey, I made mine.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Last time, one more. They have Is there one service or two? What's inside of this? Just throw it away.
Can you put back in the bag is the egg?
And so you put the egg in this tape, the roller tape, but the egg will take it through.
Don't throw it. I'm sorry. Throw everything away except the got the egg from
Can I take your egg? Okay, that's fine. I know that you guys had an egg, and you guys haven't seen it in my egg. So. That's fine.
Wait, that's the guy who took the eagle. The guy with the coat, the black. Yeah. No, I'm going to the elephant.
What do you say to everyone for coming to teach us an awesome lesson? That was so fun.
Did you all have fun?
And we learned a lot too, right?
I mostly have fun.
All right. If your area is nice and clean and you have